What is going on, everybody? Death Spread here. I'm a little mad. I'm a little bit mad. I'm a COD player. This is a COD video. If you like that, sit down and relax. If you don't, I'll catch you in the next one, hopefully. I understand. No worries. Hope you guys are having a great day so far, because I'm a little irritated. So, what are you looking at? This is the graph from roughly the last three and a half-ish years of Microsoft's market share value. Do you notice anything specific about within roughly the last half year to a year? You see a big uptick, right? You see that? You see that uptick? You see that hill go up? Okay, you see what happened recently? You see how the hill kind of, I don't know, goes down a little bit? Okay, so Microsoft recently lost $357 billion with a B in market cap as stock plunged most since 2020. This specific headline on CNBC, and that was on the 29th of January. It's a big deal, don't get me wrong, for the company, right? You know, markets and all that. I haven't been involved in that stuff in a long time, not since college. But, you know, for a company who is in the multi-trillions, they can afford it. It's not ideal, but they can afford it. So, why am I bringing this up? That's a good question. Let's skip that for now. So, recently, Microsoft had Phil Spencer step down, as well as somebody else. I'm not here to talk about Phil Spencer and Xbox and all that. I'm just here to report, as you likely know already if you're in the know about this stuff, a last name Sharma, who is currently president of Microsoft's core AI product organization, okay, has taken over Phil Spencer's job as the president and CEO of Xbox within Microsoft. People aren't happy. I don't know how to convey the reaction to this news. People aren't thrilled. Phil Spencer wasn't perfect, but we liked him generally. People aren't too happy about the president of the core AI product organization suddenly becoming the president of Xbox, especially with no gaming background, mind you. We're not too thrilled about that overall, right? But whatever. Who cares, right? This isn't about COD. Why am I talking about this? Well, let's bring it to COD, all right? 99,072 players as of September 30th of last year. Okay? September 30th, 99,000. Basically 100,000. Round up. Currently 44,000. That is less than half of the players that were playing in September. Less than half. And that, by the way, is Steam, obviously, on the charts, you can tell. That's according to Steam Charts, the website, if you ever want to go and fact check me, which I encourage you to always do your own research. And this is also Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, I don't think Cold War, possibly Cold War, Black Ops 6, Black Ops 7, and Warzone. Okay? They're not pulling too many numbers here. They're just not. They're not doing too hot right now. And if Steam's anything to go by, they're probably not where they want to be, right? So, what's happening right now? We're waiting for Season 2, of course, of Black Ops 7. Whatever, you know, Season 2 is going to be fun, new zombies map, yada, yada, whatever. Probably going to have a little bit of a spike. Always happens with these seasonal updates, and then it goes back down pretty quickly. I'm part of that problem. I won't lie. I like zombies. Which is why I'm making this video. Because Ghost of Hope. Now, if you don't know Ghost of Hope, he is I think it's a man, but I could be wrong. I apologize. Don't, want to assume. Ghost of Hope, who is a predominant leaker in the Call of Duty community, I suppose you call it, recently said this on Twitter, or X, pick a poison. Exclusive. Sources indicate to me that the delay on the next Xbox has hurt a lot of COD's marketing, as they wanted Modern Warfare 4 to be launched as a title and draw a lot of hype to compete with people's attention alongside GTA 6. They want to compete with GTA 6. That alone is a little bit crazy, okay? But whatever. At the end of the day, you're a company, that's a competitor, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? I fully support competition, but I'm digressing. Because of this delay, the idea of 2 Call of Duty games launching with the next Xbox has been floated. A traditional Call of Duty multiplayer in a standalone zombies title presumably developed by Treyarch, likely similar to that of Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, where both were released together. Microsoft wants Activision to be more agile and less attached to annualized releases in the future. The consensus is that a more quick and coherent product/development pipeline would have allowed them to cash in on the extraction shooter hype sooner with a DMZ update, for example. This is actually not that big. I'm going to be honest. Rumors like this come every single year, roughly around the same time, right? I expected there to be talk of a standalone zombies game, especially when you think about what's been happening lately. BO7 has pretty much flopped, for lack of a better word. Call of Duty itself has been going down and down and down every year. They have not been able to cash in on any trend post Fortnite. And what he says about the whole being more agile, I actually do understand where that's coming from, right? Because that is true. If they were, quote unquote, more agile, the DMZ thing would have been a lot more trend setting like Warzone was, right? I get it. Yes, the developers work hard, and yes, the developers are extremely agile already, probably to the max they can be, but this, I think, is talking more about an overview of administration, not so much the developers, right? There's a big difference there between planning and acting. The developers are the actors, the administration is the planners. I think what they're saying here is it would have been nice if the planners had foreseen or forecasted the idea of an extraction shooter being popular, which they couldn't do and left DMZ behind in the trash, which, whatever. It is what it is, right? It happens. So, this is nothing special. This is not what made me mad. This is actually great. And if we just take a look here, right? The reactions have been astounding. Standalone zombies, excited. Microsoft want Activision more agile and less attached to annualized releases in the future. Let's go. Correct. That is a good thing. The annualized releases need to stop, but we've been saying that since the days of quite literally ghosts. So it's not anything new. Activision, if you're listening, give me standalone zombies. My life is yours. Nothing would make people kind of happier in Call of Duty than a standalone zombies game. I mean, just to be blunt, like, honestly, zombies fans have been asking for this for over a decade and a half, probably. It has been a long time that we have been hoping for a standalone zombies game. But whatever, that's fine, right? But it is what it is. Again, these are not new. The copium it's given me. Delete this. I will pay $100 for a standalone zombies game. I pray to God this happens, and I pray the next iteration of zombies takes more risks than they've been taking in the last few games. I agree with that. There's a lot here that can be talked about from a fun, creative, theoretical point of view. And I think it should be talked about, which I might make a video on my ideal standalone zombies game one day, because I think it'd be pretty cool. I really, really do. So this tweet got attention, and Dextro wound up picking up the story, right? So here we have a timeline of a few different tweets, and for those of you who don't know, when he references the Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare, basically in the beginning of the release cycle for Infinite Warfare, in order to purchase or play Modern Warfare Remastered, you had to buy Infinite Warfare. I think they changed that a few months in. Modern Warfare Remastered was a GOAT, by the way. Literally an amazing game. A couple things I wish were different, but overall, solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. It was a beautiful game. So here we have just a couple tweets talking about it by Dextro. This is what gets me. This is what gets me. Okay? Let's just take a look. Now remember, Microsoft, who now owns Activision, who owns Call of Duty, in essential terms, Microsoft owns Call of Duty, a $1 trillion company who has lost huge market share revenue, who has a huge shakeup happening at the top of Xbox, has a new Xbox coming up the line within the next 1 to 2 years, I would argue, especially given that tweet and the leak by Ghost Hope. I would definitely say within the next 2 years, we're going to have a new Xbox, who has been trying to milk this cash cow of Call of Duty as much as possible. Let's just say, took over the acquisition and won the court cases to own Activision. I think over a year, 2 years ago. All this is happening. And then you mix into the factor, Call of Duty just falling on its face and doing terrible right now compared to where it used to be. I get it. The console versions are where they make their money. The console versions are where they do really good. I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I agree. The Steam charts is just the only thing we have that's hard data to go by. And if that's an indication, even if it's an extra 30,000 players, you're talking, let's say, all right, that's 40. You're talking 70,000 between Xbox and PlayStation. That's roughly, what, 100, 125, 150,000 players plus an additional 50. You're looking at roughly 200,000 players in Call of Duty. I promise you, that is not anything compared to what Call of Duty used to be. It just isn't. It has fallen from grace that while we talk about it, they don't care. And that's the frustrating part. They don't care, okay? But they do care, right? Of course they care. It's their business. It's their company. Why wouldn't they care? What proof do you have that they don't care? The rumor factory working overtime. This ain't it. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little diddly. Let me tell you a little something. Okay? When you have a business that is as volatile as Microsoft is right now, as in the crosshairs of the industry's consumer base, as Activision is right now, and as desperate as Call of Duty is right now, you're telling me an amazing idea that clearly gets people excited and is something they've asked for over a decade warrants a response that vindicates the people showing you that they want you to succeed. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't like being mad. I don't like yelling. But for crying out loud, can somebody, somewhere, please show me a historical example of how a business move like this has worked out well for a company? You can make the argument and say this isn't real, right? They're trying to tamper expectations because that might be coming in the next 2 years, for example. Maybe it'll come out in 2027, right? Or maybe they're just starting working on it. They don't want people to be overhyped about it. That still makes no sense. Because why would they just outright deny a rumor that so obviously makes people excited? Where is the logic? I am beyond flabbergasted. I have no other words. Flabbergasted at the response of Call of Duty, at the response of these numbskulls who think that they're doing the right thing. The PR of this is just, I don't get it. I don't get it. So, a cooler head than mine, Ghost of Hope, then responded, whoever COD PR came up with denying almost any rumor put out by anybody besides data mine stuff is a genius. Makes leakers look like fools and everybody will forget about them lying in a few years when this stuff comes true, lol. They know what they're doing, I'll give them that. First of all, he has a point that it is actually a good move because you are invalidating future rumors by making somebody out to be a liar when even though they're true. Or maybe Ghost of Hope is wrong here, 110%. He could be wrong. The purpose of what I'm saying is not Ghost of Hope is right, Ghost of Hope is wrong, terrible information, good information, inaccurate information, perfectly accurate. I couldn't care less. What I care about is the response they made. Because while the long game absolutely makes sense of, if you make all leakers, all rumors out to be false and nobody will pay attention to them, absolutely. Nobody trusts you to begin with! Should I even bring up KotiCk in the Epstein files? Should I even touch that landmine? Because I don't think I should. I really don't want to. I don't want to talk about that on this channel. This channel is a Christian channel. This channel is a good channel for relaxing and having a good time. I don't want to talk about that kind of evil in this world. We all know this is a wicked place. We know that this is a fallen earth. But guess what? It was still there. We know the CEO had very close communications with JE. And I fail to see how immediately after the release of those files and everybody wising up to the fact that Call of Duty and Epstein, of all people, purposely got kids addicted to a rewarding market, which I don't know what to say about that, other than, what the heck, man? You tell me immediately after that, along with everything else about Microsoft and Activision I've already talked about, their infinite wisdom says, oh, free money? Making people happy? Nah, we're good. We're good. So, what do the people have to say about this, right? Because I'm probably in the minority here. I'm just reacting and mad, and I'm knee-jerk reaction, and this is awful, and, you know, I'm an idiot. Of course it ain't it. Call of Duty isn't in business doing cool stuff or making things the community wants. Just making slop year after year while losing players and costing Microsoft a ton of money. You guys haven't had a good game since 2013. If there was ever a time to listen to your fans' community, you'll be now. Of course, you'll do the opposite like you did with that Modern Warfare 2 campaign remaster when you knew the multiplayer was what fans actually wanted. But this is it. People wanted. Oh, geez, look at that. It's almost like people want this stuff. Resurrection and Zombies Chronicles are the best-selling DLC packs of your franchise history. Maybe we could run it by Activision one more time. Activision be like free money and we can help or make the fans happy? Nah. Somebody, please. Honestly, I know I'm animated. I know I'm overly animated right now, and I'm frustrated and mad, and I am making this video shortly after reading all this. Somebody break down how all of this information is good for Call of Duty. Because what this has shown me, what this has, I think, shown a lot of people, is just more confirmation of what we already knew is true. Call of Duty doesn't care about making a good game. As people on this platform, I said before, they will never sell you something that is so good you don't want the next iteration. And that's just sadly true. That is just very sadly true. They will always hold things back until the next installment to show it as a feature instead of something that could have been added in the current installment. That's just how business goes with certain companies, unfortunately. There are other companies like Bungie who have, you know, the one Krabby Patty that they make perfectly versus the slop of 100 of them. Like Call of Duty and Activision. I don't get the business mindset behind this outside of community tempering of expectations and removing the leakers from the equation by disenfranchising them and deplatforming them based on reliability and trust. You know what? Your trust was lost, Activision, a very long time ago. And after everything I've talked about this video, this is just cherry on top. This is my last Call of Duty until probably a standalone zombies game. I am not buying Modern Warfare 4. I am not buying anything that isn't a Treyarch game. And even then, I'm still probably not going to buy it. This is absolutely absurd. This is an insane mindset that they have for community outreach and PR. And I just never seen something like this in my life. I'm young. I'm 27. I get it. I've only been like practically aware of business models for about 9 years, a graduate business degree. So, you know, there's something along with an IT degree. So, I don't know. What do I know? I only studied it for 4 years. It's not like I'm in the field of business, I suppose. But I like to think I at least have some idea of how to do this. And this, what you're doing, this ain't it. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm just stunned at the willing negligence of their own business handlings. I'm stunned at their inability to have a mindset of this is what the fans want. And at the same time, I'm not. Because this is nothing new. The way that they're acting right now has been how they've acted for years. None of this is a surprise. It's just a depressive reminder of how far Call of Duty has fallen. It is sad. It is awful. And if I had one call to action in this video, if you told me on a piece of paper for homework, what is your CTA for this YouTube video? It's to stop buying Call of Duty. Just stop. Enough. Because they will never put your interests first. They will never make a quality game. When I say quality, I don't mean a good game. Black Ops 6 wasn't all that bad. Cold War, not all that bad. Modern Warfare 2019, not all that bad. I didn't like it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good. But at the same time, they will never give you the whole package. And this, if nothing else, just showcases they don't care. And if they don't care, I don't either. I'm going to ride out this game. I'm going to run a few zombies games with my friends, and we're going to do the Easter eggs. We're going to see where the story goes for zombies. And after that, I'm through. Because you know what? I at least like the zombie storyline. I do enjoy the Easter eggs. This is the last time I'm probably going to play them. I'm not touching anything else. I'm done. I've had a very tough beginning to 2026. I'm not here to play games with people who don't care about me. I'm not going to feed into their nonsense. I'm done. So I hope you guys are done too. And if this video is, if you disagree with it, please go ahead. Let me know. Seriously, go ahead. I am interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Let me know if I'm alone. I have seen the reaction to this stuff, these comments by Ghost of Hope and the replies to Ghost of Hope and Cause Response and the response to Cause Response. I have seen so many takes on this, and I just feel none of them are angry enough. I understand that anger is pointless because nothing's going to change. But the mishandling of their own business is what angers me the most. Because I look at this and I look at just this one simple tweet that they made. I could have literally done better. I promise you watching this video, you right now listening to me, you could have done better than the people being paid by Activision for PR. Anybody with half a brain could have done better than whatever decision was made to make that tweet the response. And that's what gets me mad. They care so little about this franchise, so little about their quality content or the games or anything that they give us, that they are willing to put their own press release quality in the toilet because they believe they're too big to fail. And as I've said before, to an extent, they actually are, because they have the backing of $1 trillion company, and that's not going away. At the same time, if we truly stop buying COD, maybe we can finally put it in the ground and let it rest for a decade or so. Whether or not that's going to happen, I don't know. I hope. One can hope. I'll be making a video sometime about my ideal zombie standalone game. I got some ideas that I think would be very simple to do and make it very fun and enjoyable. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. I don't know. I'm just mad. And I'm sorry for the yelling. I hope you guys didn't mind that. And yeah. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. Remember that somebody somewhere loves you, even if they don't know it yet, and Jesus Christ loves you. Have a blessed rest of your day, guys. Take care. Take it easy. And goodbye. So mad, man. So flipping mad.
Thank you so much to channel members. In the oldies tier, we have Sinful Gaming, who has been a member for a year or more. In the Modern Times tier, we have Lord Taco, who has been a member for a year or more. And in the Future tier, we have Apocalypse Super, who has been a member for a year or more. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. I truly appreciate your support, and it means the world to me, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.